Hi, I'm Sarah Arrington, and here's today's Daily Dose. This has been quite the season, and I know that we've all heard that tons of times, but it's true. This has been a season where some of us have been incredibly busy, more busy than ever, and then others, we've found ourselves with a lot of time on our hands, and we're trying to figure out what to do with it and how to make all that work. And then on top of that, for me, I'm a school teacher, and so this is my summer break, but there's weird planning and stuff like that. But still, I'm on break right now, which is such a blessing. But there's a lot to do still. And in this season, God's been teaching me a lot about the Sabbath. And we know about the Sabbath. A lot of people are aware that means rest. And that's a time for us to just refocus on God and to make Him our priority. And a few months back, realized that it was really important for me to take a Sabbath, so I did. I started one day a week. I wouldn't do anything related to my job. I wouldn't grade papers. I wouldn't make lesson plans. I wouldn't do anything like that. But I would still do things like laundry or the dishes or prepare for something else that wasn't exactly work related. After a few months of that, I realized that I wasn't filled up. I was maybe more physically rested, except my relationship with God wasn't really any better than it had been before that. And so then I started really praying, what am I doing? How can I make this better? And you guys might be sitting at home thinking, this is a dumb question. I know the answer to this. You need more time with God, which is so true. But for me, I didn't know what that looked like. And I was reading one day, I read Isaiah 30:15, which says, this section is titled, "A Woe to an Obstinate Nation." And in that woe, it says, this is what the Sovereign Lord says, the Holy One of Israel. In repentance and rest is your salvation. In quietness and trust is your strength. But you would have none of it. And then I started thinking to myself, the answer is right here. In repentance and rest and strength and quietness and trust, all of that comes from this. Am I having none of it? Am I someone who's just decided that I don't have time for that or I don't want to do it? So I had to look at this. If a Sabbath is a time to rest and do things that still stir my affections for Christ, I really need to change up how I'm doing the Sabbath and make sure that I'm trusting Jesus. A Sabbath is not only a command in the 10 Commandments in Exodus 20, but it's also an amazing blessing. As followers of Jesus, we get to prioritize our weeks for Him. We get to not only spend time with Him and focus on Him each day, like you're already doing right now by watching a daily dose, but we also get to take one day and make sure that we're filled with Him so that we can pour out to others. If our goal is to reflect Christ to the people around us, how can we do that if we're completely empty? So for me, a Sabbath has had to turn into something that's a little bit deeper than my normal daily quiet time with Jesus. That's the time where I really dive deep. Am I forgiving that person? Am I really allowing myself to grieve something that either happened yesterday or 10 years ago? Am I really handing this over and trusting Him with my heart and with my life? Practically speaking, I'm not asking you to take an entire day and only spend time with Jesus. That's really not super practical every single week in our lives, and I know that. But I do want to encourage you to focus on Him and turn one day of your week onto Him. Make sure that you are trusting Him, you're being quiet and repenting, so that you get that awesome blessing of that strength and the trust and the security that comes in that. Don't miss out on that. I'm praying for you guys today.